Good afternoon, folk, or good evening as it is. Now, you know how I all rant and rave on Facebook and stuff like that? Well, the thing is, I've decided not to do that anymore because I have to type and all that kind of stuff and nobody reads it all. So I thought I'd just do this little video and see how that goes. Now, subject for today is Cyprus. We all know it's had a £10 billion bailout from the Eurozone for the banks. Now, first of all, I'm going to give you my perspective on it, but first of all, I'll just give you a little bit of background details on Cyprus. I've got them here, and I'll just read them to you. Well, I don't have to read the first bit, I've got it. Cyprus joined the Eurozone in 2004, in May. And then, in 2008, 1st of January 2008, it joined the Euro. Now, some figures for you, just to put you in the right perspective, if you bear with me 1 second. In 2000 and... hang on, where am I? I've got the wrong bit. I've got it now, here we go. In 2009, 1 year after they joined the Euro, the inflation rate in Cyprus was 0.2%. 0.2%. Now, the last figures that I've got, inflation figures for Cyprus that are not estimated, are 2011. The inflation rate then is 3.5%. 3 years. 3 years in the Eurozone, and inflation has increased by a factor of 17.5. 17.5 times 0.2 is 3.5%. It's gone 17 times more than it was in 4 years. Now, unemployment rate, 2009, the year after it joined the Euro, was at 5.4%. In 2012, unemployment rate in Cyprus is 9.5%. That's, to all extents and purposes, is doubled. So employment and unemployment's doubled. Inflation's gone up by a factor of 17.5. Then I have two more statistics here. Housing savings, household saving rates. Data not available. Okay, I'm going to explain that to you with the next figure. The next figure is the public debt. In 2008, when the year that they joined the Euro, the public debt in Cyprus, that's the money that you owe for mortgages, buying cars, buying a telly, getting a loan to go on holiday or whatever, the money that the actual public owed, was 48.6%. Now, in 2012, that figure was 74.3%. That's an increase in real terms of about 50% of what it was in 4 years of the Euro. That figure explains why public household saving rates, no data, because they haven't got any money to save, because they're paying all the stuff, the debts that they owe, and the inflation that's increased, that's in them. Now, so they bailed the banks out. Take the Leica Bank, the one that they've closed. Now that's a public bank. It's owned 23% by the Shanghai and Hong Kong Banking Corporation. The rest of it is owned by the people of Cyprus, the general public buying shares in it, the bank staff and the manager of the bank. It's a private bank though, it's not involved with Goldman Sachs, the Fed, or the European, the ECB or anything like that. It's a private bank. Now, they've closed that bank because they accused it of laundering money from Russian cartels. Now, I don't know what money from Russian cartels they would be laundering, because I don't think they grow cocaine, etc. in Moscow. So I'm pretty certain they don't, because I've been. Now, so they closed it because of the connection with Russia, but the bank, the money they've taken out of the bank, they've closed it, they've given it to the National Bank of Cyprus, which is like our Bank of England, or the Fed in America, or the European Central Bank. So they took the money out of the private bank, given it to the National Bank. Now, when they've taken this, they've also moved over 9 billion euros of debt from this private bank to the national bank. So the people have taken on 9 billion euros of debt. Now they've got a bailout from the EU of 10 billion euros. Now if they've taken 9 billion of debt and they've given them 10 billion, then they've only actually really got 1 billion. I think I'm right in that. And also, which bank are they bailing out here? Because if they close the Leica bank, then how can you bail it out? Because it's not there anymore. That's just, you know, I can't quite get my head around that. So anyway, it's not there, but they've bailed it out. So, the National Bank has got 10 billion euros. They've also taken all the savings, all the depositors' funds from the Leica bank, which is closed, into the National Bank. Now, you will have heard that all accounts over 100,000 euros in Cyprus are being ducked 25% to pay for this bailout. Now, if they're taking 25% off of all the accounts, why do they need the bailout? Because they've got the bailout, and then they're taking the 25% of all the money that's in there. They've got loads more than 1 billion left. Now, the bank, Leica, was closed for allegedly laundering money from Russia. And that's a public bank. Now in England we have a bank, HSBC, which was caught and accused and proven to have laundered $600 million worth of South American drug cartel money. Did they close it? Yeah. Did we give them any more money? Yeah. So what's the difference? I thought the European Union was the laws are equal for everyone. So if they close this bank for laundering Russian money, why don't they close HSBC for laundering South American drug money? Right? Don't get that either. Now, one other point. You may say to yourself, well, they've got 100,000 euros in bank, they're all the rich people. Take the money off them, it's good. But ask yourself this. You know your auntie, or your grandmother, or some cousin or whatever, went to Cyprus, they lived in this country, they bought the house, they worked all their lives, they thought, right, we'll sell up, go to Cyprus. So they sell the house in this country, they get 150, 160 grand, whatever it is. Off they go to Cyprus, they buy a house for 30 grand. Put 100 grand in the bank to live on. Here comes EU, oh, we're having 25% of that. Seriously. So even though it says 100 grand, it seems as though it's a large figure to all of us. Well, it is a large figure. But the fact remains, who's got that sort of money? It's the pensioners and the pension funds and people like that. All the oligarchs with the big money on, they know all this was happening. That's all gone. There's none of that to come. So my point is that it's not 100 grand seems like, you know, when you really look at it, it seems like it's a lot of money, but you'll just think 100 grand in, it's only the value of a house in this country. And the people who've retired over there and took the savings and put them in the bank, think they're safe, they've lost money through no fault of their own. The European Central Bank have come and stolen their money, and they've given it to the banksters who fucked up in the first place. Now, one other point before I go is that this hang on, I'll just get a name down here. Where is she? I do know her name, but she's that much of a non-entity I don't really bother with her much, but here we go. Christine Lagarde, who's the head of the European financial systems, unelected, never been elected. She says, and I quote, this is from the European Union, Eurogroup heads say Cyprus shows future of bank rescues. Not people rescues or anything. What she's just said is that if banks go bust, we're going to take the money that the people like you and I and everyone else have put in the bank, we're going to take some of that out and give it to whoever. I don't know who they're giving it to, because the bank ain't there anymore in the case of Leica. So they're going to take this money out from the European Union. Head of the group says, this is the future for bank bailouts. Take the money off the people. She didn't say it like that, but this is what it means. Take the money off the people, give it to the banksters, and that's it. I mean, there's another thing. There's two more things about this. Cyprus. Why Cyprus? Now, Cyprus is a little island in the middle of the Mediterranean. This is a test case. If they get away with it in Cyprus, Cyprus ain't got any nuclear bombs or any army. They can't jump into boats and go and invade Brussels or whatever like that. Can't do it. So it's a test case. We'll see what happens here with this. If we get away with that, then everybody's in the firing line, basically. And one other point that you need to be aware of in this instance is that this whole financial implementation thing cannot be voted on by the Cyprus Parliament. They have no redress to vote against it or to stop it. Nothing whatever they can do about it. It's undemocratic and it must be unlawful. So, just remember the one thing, folks. Europe Group Head says Cyprus shows the future of bank rescues. So that's the way it's going to go. My advice to you is get your money out of the banks, buy some sovereigns or some silver, or anything that has any value. Probably, if you can't think about it, just get some weed, then you won't give a fuck, right? End of. Thank you very much for your time, folks.